Hello, hello everybody, and welcome to Crafty Hour 57. Can't believe we're there already. So this is Kourtney with Scrapbook-N-Memories, doing our portion. So I hope you guys got a chance to join Diane today. She did a fabulous little folio that was super cute. So I hope you guys joined in. If you didn't, as always, the Crafty Hours are on replay, so you guys can go over there and do that. So thank you, everybody. We're going to be playing and doing some little fun folds. And then, of course, I worked a shaker in because, well, why not when there is a nesting die set? I love this nesting die set, and I never would have thought of doing that cute little clip that Diane did today where she cut it and then fold it in half, and you could put a magnet or something on it too. I thought that was really cute. So that'd be great to use for planners, your mini albums, all kinds of things like that. Okay, so I'm gonna get some water. And hopefully I don't lose my voice. I'm kinda, been a long week. So welcome everybody, and hello. I know some of my people might not have their kits yet. We are still I apologize. But don't forget, you can get these on replay. I apologize. We are still waiting on the Simple Stories Pooh stamps. They went to back order, and they're having to have more produced, and they're telling us it should be any day now. So hopefully those will be here sooner than later on that. I had posted a little bit of homework, just some quick, easy stuff of grabbing some white cardstock, which you know what? I didn't grab white cardstock, so I could go grab that really quick. Grab some white cardstock, grab a scrap piece of either green or red or yellow or blue or whatever you want that will match this paper collection. And then if you have the Polaroid die, grab the Polaroid die. If not, no worries. Don't worry about it. You can just cut rectangles and squares and do like a faux Polaroid, which is what I did in one of our Makermania presentations a couple years ago. So I'm going to be right back. I forgot my white cardstock, and we'll grab those items. Okay, so I'm going to move these guys out of the way. I'll kind of show you what we're making. They're all going to have little belly bands on them that we're going to slide the belly bands off, and then it is going to open up kind of like a little mini book. I guess you could say it's going to be a card that's a fun fold. Here's an area here that you can put your salutations, your sentiment, kind of whatever you want. Then they're going to fold down, and then your belly band's going to go right on. So what we're going to do is start with our white piece of cardstock. So I just have an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and we are going to cut the cardstock. So it is 5.5 by 11. So it's already 11 inches. We're just going to put it over to 5.5, and we are going to slice it. Slice it. So we have 5.5 by 11, and then out of your scrap we're going to cut a piece that is 1 1/4 by 11, and mine's already that size because I already cut another scrap down. So 1 1/4 by 11. So you're going to have 2 strips. Okay, 2 strips. Both strips are 11 inches long. This one is 5.5 wide. This one is 1 1/4 wide. This is going to be your belly band, which is right here. We're just going to sit that to the side till the very end. We don't need it at this time. Okay, then you're going to need your scorer. I absolutely love this trimmer. If you guys haven't gotten one of these yet, I highly recommend it. It has the cutter and the scorer both in the same thing. I love that it has a little spot that you can park it at the top so it is out of the way when you do your paper and stuff. Other trimmers, you have to pop these on and off. And I love that this one is very convenient and you can leave it on. So now we're going to take this piece of paper and we're going to put it So it is wider than it is tall. And we're going to score it. Our first score is going to be 1 1/4. 1 1/4. Okay. Our second score is going to be 5 1/2. 5 1/2. And then our last score is going to be 9 1/4. 9 1/4. Okay, so that's it on those. So basically what we're going to do is when you lay it out, you're going to see that one flap is bigger. So this is your bigger flap. This is your card center. And then this is your smaller flap. So we are going to, on your center flap, we're just going to fold it in half. Okay, fold it in half. And then we're going to back fold the big one, and then fold over the small one. Okay? So when you look at your card, you're going to have a mountain, a valley, and a valley. Okay? It's going to look something like that. And when you fold it down, that's what you've got. Okay? Really super easy. It just folds into itself on that. Okay, then we're going to grab your pattern papers in your little thing. And I didn't have you grab it in advance because, well, there's not really that many sheets here. So you're going to grab this one that has the divider. And then we're going to look for the one that has teal flowers on one side and then a red plaid on the back side. We got those two. And then the next one we're going to look for is the pink one that has Pooh on it. Ha ha ha, Pooh. Those. So those are the ones we're going to grab. Okay. I love 6x8 pads because if you turn it sideways and you take your card and look, you can basically get 2 cards out of kind of one sheet of paper. You can get a lot of bang for your buck out of the 6x8s. Now it is a little challenging when the prints are up and down. You can't get as much out of it because you have the directional, but these that are non-directional, you can get more bang for your buck. So what we're gonna start with, I always start with my biggest pieces first. So we're gonna start with this one right here. And all of these are 5 3/8 tall. 5 3/8 tall. And then Piglet. Let me just do them really quick. That is 4 1/8. There's our pink one. And then we'll do our plaid. While everybody's kind of joining and still scoring, I'm just going to write these down really quick. Okay, there's our measurements. Okay, so we're gonna cut the Winnie the Pooh one first. Now we do need to pay attention to the direction on it for this one. So it is 5 3/8 tall. So you're gonna put it in your trimmer so it is sideways. So all the characters are standing on their heads. And we're going to cut this 5 3/8. 5 3/8. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 5 3/8. Save this because I literally used, I think, every piece that was in here. And then we're going to flip it and do 4 1/8. 4 1/8. So that piece is going to go perfect right in there with a little bit of white showing all the way around it. And then our other pink piece is going to go right here, which it's already the same height. So we're going to scoochie over here to 1 5/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 5/8. So we're cutting off that little guy right there. And I didn't use that, so you don't have to save that one. Here we go. So we're going to go ahead and glue those down while we have them to the proper size. Okay, so this is the 2 pinks right there is what I just did. 2 pinks. And I felt like this paper really didn't need any foil on it. If you guys want to add foils or something to it, feel free to. But I felt that white strip just gave it a little something it needed, and it didn't really need it. Okay. Okay, so there's our pink pieces. Okay, then we're going to grab this piece right here. And we're going to cut out our little Winnie the Pooh. If you want to use a different card on here, feel free to use a different one. The Thinking of You is also adorable. But we're just going to leave this as a piece, leave that together, and we're going to cut out the little Winnie the Pooh there, and then set these 2 pieces to the side. And then we're going to bring this one back in, and this one is what I used right here. You're going to see that that is that piece. So we're going to take this, flip it over, and our plaid is going to be 5 3/8. So you're going to flip it so it is wider than it is tall, and we're going to go to 3/8. 1, 2, 3. So you're just shaving off this little bit, and then we're going to flip it and do 3 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that piece is going to go right here. Okay. So then back to our biggest one. We're going to go back to our biggest piece, and I don't think I wrote that one down. It is 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. Same size. So we're going to cut our 5 3/8 first. Hold on, let me think how I want this. cutting it off just a little bit. That's right. 5 3/8, you're going to have it standing taller than it is wide. And we're going to go to 5 3/8. So 1, 2, 3. So we're just shaving off a little bit. This will get us our more bang for our buck. Oh, this is going to be beautiful for a baby album. Absolutely. Now we're going to flip it and do 3 5/8. So 1, 2, 3. It's easy when all the measurements are very similar, very much the same. Okay. And then we need to do 2 more of the flowers. So we're going to leave it in the way it is. And this is 1 1/8, and I like to use my trimmer backwards for anything that size. So we're going to do 1 1/8. And then repeat it 1 1/8. So this flower, we're going to do 2 of those. Just busted a nail. Okay, so this guy is going to go right here. And then we're going to close it down, and the other one's going to go right there. And then we'll close it down, and then the flower goes on that outer flap. And evidently I measured wrong, or I cut wrong. Yep, 3 5/8. 3 5/8 is what it said. I did not go to 3 5/8. So I'm going to piece it. They say measure twice, cut once. How did I do that? I cut 3 3/8. So I need to cut 1/4 of an inch to piece that back on. Not gonna lie, my first card I screwed up too. When I was designing it and had to paper piece, so I guess I'll continue with the theme. Can always fix it. It'll be fine. I wrote down the right measurement, went to the wrong measurement on my trimmer. Well, hot dog, look, I even cut it out of the right side of the paper so it lines up. Look at that. It's like I knew what I was doing. It lines up. Okay, so there's our card. There is pretty much our card. Okay, so then we're going to do here is this little window, little postcard, and it is, I thought it was 3 by 4. I'm going to cut a piece of white paper, 3 by 4. And then we're going to mat that guy on it. So 3 by 4 for your white paper. 3 by 4. And then we're just going to mat him on there. So what we're going to do is just shave a little bit off each side. And then he'll fit on there perfectly. I was thinking on my feet. Hello, Deanna. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so there we go. We're just gonna mat them on there, have a little bit of white showing around the outside edges, and you're just gonna glue that on flat, okay? That piece is just gonna go flat onto the white. Kind of just makes it pop a little bit so it stands out. And then it's gonna go right here inside the panel. You can choose to pop it, or you can choose to lay it flat. It is up to you, however you want to do it. I'm going to pop mine, and I'm using what I call the normal height. So this is the 54 roll, the normal height. The 108 is what I call the low roll, the low. And then when you put this on, you can put it on straight, or you can put it cockeyed. And I chose to go cockeyed because that's just kind of the spirit I'm in. And then we won't waste our time cutting it for the right now. You guys can add this later. I just trimmed a piece of white to put in here, and then that way you can put your sentiment and your salutation on there. Okay, so then we're just gonna fold her up. Now that we have the pop in, now we're gonna put the belly band on. I wanted to have it the inside done first, so your belly band has the proper thing. So we're just gonna fold your belly band. Remember, this is the piece we cut earlier. And when you put your belly band on, kind of do it loosey-goosey. You don't want it really tight because then it doesn't slide on and off. And then I'm just gonna glue it with liquid and make sure that it matches. You want it to mat. The white mat is 3x4. 3x4, and then I just cut the card down to fit on top of it. That one is really loosey-goosey, but that's okay. Okay, so there's our belly band, and you can slide her off. And then we're gonna go into those scraps that we had. So remember this scrap right here that has little Eeyore and stuff on it? We're gonna use that scrap. And we're gonna cut it 1 1/8 by 4 1/4. And this measurement will vary depending on how loosey-goosey or how tight you make your belly band. So I always make my belly band first and then cut it. So we're gonna put your character sideways, so they are standing on their head again, and we're gonna cut them at 1 1/8. 1 1/8. I just love, isn't he cute? They're all cute. And then we'll flip it, and we're gonna do 4 1/4. And yours might need to be a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. It just depends on how big your belly band is. You can put her up there and audition it. And if you find that you have too much white or not enough white, you can adjust it. Mine looks perfect, so we're going with it. We're gonna go with that. And then we're just gonna glue that down to your belly band. Okay. Now you can set that to the side, and we're gonna grab the dies out. So I told you to grab the Polaroid die. We're gonna use that on the next card, but we're also gonna use the dies that came in this kit. Love these. These are so cool. These are ones that we had re-released from the vault from Spellbinders, and I just love what Diane did when she took hers and folded it in half. That was super duper cute. But we're going to use it, and we are going to, of course, make a shaker with it. Shake, shake, shake. So you're going to need the largest one and the second largest one. Okay, those are the two dies you're going to grab. And I'm gonna grab my die cutting machine and some white paper, just some white paper. I told you to have some white scraps on hand or white cardstock. And the first one we're gonna cut. Ooh, is it gonna fit? That might not fit on my scrap. Don't fear, I have a whole stack of scraps here. First one we're gonna cut just like that with the big die. We're just gonna cut the first one with the big die. Okay, and then we can set that to the side. The next one we're gonna cut, oh, I still need another piece of paper. I think it'll fit. I think it'll fit. You're gonna put the big die on. Then you're gonna take the next one and you are going to nest it inside of it. I found that these lined up really nice and nested, and it makes a great little silhouette. Oops, sorry, shaking the whole thing. Okay, so now what you're gonna have is a silhouette. So we're gonna keep this piece. This piece I did not use, so you can put that to the side and use for something else. So you have a big piece and a silhouette. Okay, next thing we're gonna cut is we're gonna flip Christopher over, and we are gonna cut the the second one down, number 2, second one down, out of that plaid. Lots of die cutting. Well, not a lot, but okay. We're not going to use this piece, but that would be cool for something later too. So now you're going to have this piece, okay? And now I got to switch my plate over because I'm going to die cut some acetate, and my self-healing mat does not work really good for the acetate because it's too squishy and it doesn't cut all the way through. So if you're not getting yours to cut all the way through, do mat to mat and you will get a better result than your self-healing mat. And then I'm just going to get my scissors and I'm just going to chunk this out really quick. This is just my acetate. If you guys have not bought a pack of acetate yet, go for it. The Dress My Craft is my favorite. That's what I use. We seem to use a lot of acetate, so just grab a pack of it. And this is the largest one. We are cutting out the acetate in the largest one. And then it pops right out. Okay, that's all of our die cutting, so let's move the machine. Move everything out of the way. I got a new mat here too, and I think this black works a lot better for the video than my Ranger non-stick mat that I have. But this mat isn't good. It's kind of grippy, so for my painting and inking, I don't think it's gonna work because I don't think I can clean it off. But for the videos, I think it's gonna do good. Okay, so you're gonna take your silhouette, flip it to the back side. You're gonna take, I like to use score tape. I like the Suquang, and this is just the 1/8 of an inch score tape, and we are just gonna go all the way around it. I love this tape because, well, A, it sticks, it really works, but B, you can see I'm just taking my thumbnail and just placing it where I need, and then just ripping it. I'm not wasting time to grab my scissors, and I'm gonna be honest, anytime I try to cut score tape with my scissors is usually when I end up cutting myself. So we're just gonna work it all the way around it. Shirley, I am not sure what the name of this die is. It was included in the Crafty Hour kit. It was one of them that we had re-released from the vault, so we had this one made. It is an old discontinued Spellbinders die. Okay, so we're just going to peel that off, and then we're going to stick our piece of acetate down to it. And I don't even have packaging for my die, so I can't tell you. Mine came in a prototype bag. We got to make sure they okay, acetate. I'm squirreling a lot today. It's like I cannot focus. Cannot focus today, can I? Oh, Kathy says labels number 4. Thank you. I said I don't even have packaging for mine. I got a Ziploc bag. Okay, there is that. So we've got our acetate on our silhouette. This guy that we cut is going to go right in the center. Labels 4, man, that is really old. I think they're up to labels. I don't know, the numbers went really high. 4 is really old. Okay, and we'll glue that down, okay? So now we need to put our foam on that because we're making a shaker window. And so I love the Scrapbook adhesive. I love all their adhesives. We have them working on hopefully some new sizes for us. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. And we're going to put that on the back side. Now, I take it off the packaging because if you take it off the packaging, you'll notice that you can lay it down and you can shape it and manipulate it and make it go around corners and stuff. If you leave the backing on, that backing is kind of a hard plastic and it doesn't move. It doesn't let you shape it. So pull it off the packaging and then pull off that backing, and it's going to make it pliable. So you can just kind of go in and lay it how you want. So we had lots of great meetings with vendors when we went to Creative World, and you know we were on the hunt. So hopefully we will be able to get some cool new products for you guys and bring some products back that are some of our favorites. But we had lots of meetings and lots of great stuff coming. We have some great crafty hours planned. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Okay, pull off that last one. This card's taking longer than I thought. I don't know that we'll get through all the other card. But it's essentially the same idea. Okay, so we got our foam on the back side. I just grabbed some gold sequins because I thought that matched really nice. I also had some red ones out that I thought matched really nice. So grab whatever kind of sequins you have, or little rhinestones or bling or whatever you have, and we're going to build that little shaker. And then this is just going to line up 100% perfect right over the top side. And then there is our shaker. Easy peasy, okay? Easy peasy. Okay, so we're gonna grab our belly band and I'm gonna put a piece of foam. So I want this to actually pop up. I want it popped up from the belly band. So I'm gonna take a piece of foam tape, there we go, and I'm just gonna put it right in the center. Right in the center. And then I'm going to take that embellishment and I am just going to center it right on that belly band. Make sure she's straight-ish and press. So now we've got that cute little shaker kind of on our belly band. So then we put it on is just going to slide right over the top. And look at how cute that is. Is that not adorable? Okay, so now we got to embellish a little bit. So we're going to grab our ephemera. These ephemeras were super adorable and cute. So many fun ones in there. I'm just going to dump mine over here on the side. Okay, so we're going to look for the banner. Okay, we're going to grab the banner. There's going to be some little bees in here, which I thought were just adorable. So we're going to grab 3 little bees. 3 little bees. 1, 2, 3. And then there's also that Winnie the Pooh that is in the jar. Now, you can leave him white if you want, but I felt like it was too white. I felt like everything was too white. So what I did is I grabbed my colored pencils and I just colored Pooh in. I just colored him in. I felt like he was just a little too white. Ooh, and that pencil might not be the pencil I used before. Yeah, we're going with it. This Pooh's going to be a little bit more yellow than the other one is. He'll be brighter. So I'm just going to kind of color in Pooh. I'm just using my colored pencils. Nothing fancy. If you know me, I am not a meticulous little colorer. I usually do some watercolor scribbles. Yeah, this is not the pencil I used before, but that's okay. Okay, so we color in him. Maybe I go in with a little darker. You could draw a little red shirt on him if you wanted. Then we're just going to kind of color the honey pot. I colored it brown. So just a quick coloring. Okay, so there is Pooh. So then we're going to attach our pieces. Now, when you attach your pieces, let me bring in the sample back in. This guy is popped. I popped him. But you're going to have to slide your belly band on from the bottom because it won't go over that little bug. And then also all of these pieces that I embellished with, you're going to want to make sure you attach them to this piece that slides on and off. So don't put any pop dots here and fasten it to the back. Otherwise, you're going to glue your card shut. And we don't want to do that. So all of your pieces are going to get added to the topper. Okay, added to the topper. So I'm just going to put a foam dot behind there, foam dot behind the orange one, a foam dot kind of in the center. If you want to glue yours flat, excellent, do that. If you want to pop it, perfect. It is your card, and you make it the way you want to. Okay, so there we go. There's that. Let me find my smaller pops. I just cut them in half, and I'm going to pop 2 of the bees, and then one of them I glued flat. Okay, so that little guy there gets popped. And I love that they had 3. I always like to do things in odd numbers. So 1, 2, and then our third one, I'm just going to glue flat and put on the banner. Just like that. And then we have Pooh. And I'm going to put him down here, and I'm going to pop him also. Okay. And that is card number 1. Card number 1. So like I said, your belly band will slide off from the bottom, and then it'll open up, and then you put a piece of white paper in here, and then that way you can do your salutations, or you could put a photo. You can kind of put whatever you want. So that's kind of our fun fold. And it also kind of would make a little, kind of a mini book too, or a little mini album. So that's card number 1. Let's see how far we get on card number 2, because I know we're not going to finish it, but it is the same idea. Same idea, only the outside is going to be a little bit different. So let's see how we go on that. So let me see if I can kick it up a little notch. So we're going to start with our card base. Remember, repeat, repeat, repeat. We do the same things, and it kind of gets ingrained in our head. So we have our 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. We are going to cut it at 5.5. 5.5. Put my scrap there. Out of your scrap, you're going to cut a 1 1/4 by 11. I already have another one cut in front of me. And then we're going to score. So this big one, we're going to score at 1 1/4. Oops, I always shift it. Okay, 1 1/4. We're going to score it at 5.5. And then we're going to score it at 9 1/4. 9 1/4. Sometimes I say fourths and sometimes I say quarters. I guess it depends on the mood. I do both. Does anybody else do both? Okay, so we have our biggest panel on the left, our smallest panel on the right. We're going to fold it in half. We're going to back fold, and we're going to back fold. Okay, back fold, back fold. There's our card. So let's look for the pieces of paper we're going to find for this one. So the papers we're going to find for this one is the flowers, the bees, and the yellow. So there's the yellow. So basically, probably all the ones we have left that Diane didn't use. There's the bees. There's that, and that. Okay, we're going to start with our bees. Our largest one. And remember, everything is pretty much 5 3/8. So we're going to go in here so it is taller than it is wide. So you cut off the smallest portion. 1, 2, 3. So 5 3/8. We're going to cut that. We're going to flip it and do 4 1/8. 4 1/8. So this piece goes right in here. That is your largest. All right, guys, I'm speeding it up just a hair because these are all the same measurements that we did on the first card. And I want to make sure to get this one done or get pretty close. Okay, so there's your bees. Okay, the next one we're going to grab is the flowers, the blue flowers. It is going to be 5 3/8. 5 3/8. We're going to flip it do our second largest, which is 3 5/8. 4, 5. And then while we have it in the trimmer, we're going to go ahead and do this larger panel, which is 1 5/8. 1 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the next one down, your 1 5/8. So one gets glued here, and then the other one gets glued right next door. Okay, so you should have something that looks like that. Now we're going to grab our yellow and do our outside piece, which is the 5 3/8 by, this is the one I cut wrong last time, 3 5/8. So that last one there. So we're going to flip it sideways, 5 3/8. We'll flip it and do 3 5/8. And then we need one of the little flappers. Actually, it looks like 2 flappers, which are, we need 2 flappers, flap, flap. And these are the 1 1/8. 1 1/8. I'm going to do these backwards on my trimmer because it's easier for me. So I have something to hold on to. Usually anything smaller than 2 inches, I use my trimmer backwards. Okay, so we've got our skinny guys. So our skinny guys are going to go right here. And then close that down. Okay, so we got that. And then our last yellow one goes right there. Okay, there we go. Now for the inside, I used the Polaroid die, and I said just grab some scrap cardstock. If you've got yellow, red, green, blue, whatever you feel like is going to match it. I'm going to grab a piece of yellow because I don't think I have any more red, and we're going to die cut that. Just using up scrap paper. If you don't have the Polaroid die, what you can do is cut out the rectangular piece, and I'll give you the measurements in a second, out of the colored paper, and then out of white paper, cut the square, and then your white you'll just put on top instead of putting behind it, and it'll look like a Polaroid. This is in the Makermania kit. So if you guys are waiting on your Makermania kits, it's in there. You can add this piece later, but it is coming. So if you don't have a Polaroid die, what you can do is cut a piece of paper that is, this is 3 7/8 by 3. Okay, 3 7/8 by 3. And then your opening is 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. So you can cut your white piece that and just sit it on top, and it'll make a faux Polaroid. I did this very exact thing in Maker Mania before we had this. So there's that. If you do have this, I'm just going to glue a white scrap behind it now. I'm just gluing a white scrap behind it. Oops, I got way too much glue on there. You could also put a picture in this. It would be super cute to do on your card. Super cute to put a card on there. Okay, so we've got that. Then we're going to put foam tape on the back of this too. If you want to glue it flat, by all means, glue it flat. And again, I'm going in kind of cockeyed. Why not? Okay, then in your ephemera pack, you're going to look for this one. It has Winnie the Pooh, and you're just going to glue that on flat. And I'm doing all of my embellishing and popping first on the inside, because once we add that belly band, you know what? I think I popped that on top of that. On my original, I popped that on top, but on this one, I'm gluing it down. I think I put low. I think I put regular pop on here and then low on that one, but we're gluing her flat. Okay, there you go. So now we're going to close her down. We're going to grab that belly band that is 1 1¼ by 11, and we are going to wrap that around. And make sure we're straight. Sometimes being straight with your folds is easier said than done. Oop, that one's kind of tight. I'm going to flip my belly band so that way we can hide the line that's on there. Okay, how are we doing? We good? I know I kind of kicked it up a notch, but I wanted to make sure to get this one done because it's kind of the same idea. So now we've got to build the belly band. And so I'm looking for my bees, and my belly band is 1 1/8 by 4 1/4. 1 1/8 by 4 1/4. Hi, Joe. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so 1 1/8. And then we're going to flip it and do 4 1/4. And like I said, yours might need to be a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, depending on how loosey-goosey or tight your belly band is. And then that is just going to get glued right on the top. And see, I did mine really tight this time. So I need to shave a little bit more off to get my white edge all the way around. Perfect, that'll work. And then you're just going to glue that down. Joe, I cannot wait to see what you come up with for Crafty Hour 57. I heard you won the arm wrestle. I think it's your style and right up your alley. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Okay, so there's that. The next thing we're going to do, we have our belly band. We're going to do another Polaroid. Again, if you don't have the Polaroid die, that's okay. Just cut a piece of paper 3 7/8 by 3, and then a little white frame 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. And you can do a faux. And this time I'm going to do a blue one because I used up all of my green scraps. So see, it doesn't matter what color you have. Just pull out your scraps, and great way to layer them and use them up. These scraps that I'm using is actually the dotted cardstocks from Simple Stories. I love their dotted colors because they make them coordinate and match all of their they match all their collections. Okay, where did that strip of scrap go? We're going to glue this guy down just like we did on the other one. Love my little precision press. We do have them back in stock if you guys have not grabbed one yet. And if you haven't grabbed one yet, what are you waiting for? It's an awesome little tool. Awesome little tool. Okay, there we go. Got your little frame. So now we're going to go in and build that onto our belly band. And did I do him straight? Yes. Straight-ish, right? Okay, so now we're going to dig out flowers. You're going to look for this big flower. You're going to look for that flower. And then there's an well, not itty-bitty, but a smaller flower. You got 3 flowers. So you're going to grab the 3 flowers. And the biggest one, I kind of worked up here in the corner. So I kind of worked them on. So what I did is I just took and added my glue to the back side, and I just kind of went in and finagled it. So I had flowers sticking out, but yet not too much that it was hanging off my card. And I just kind of pressed, okay? So put your flower on first. Then we're going to put the foam tape on, like we did on the other one, and pop it. And then we're going to add the other pieces. Oh my gosh, we are going to get this one done. Kicking it up a notch, kind of repeating. We will get this one done. Yay! Okay, there's that. Then our next flower is going to kind of go on the bottom corner. And this one, of course, is going to get popped. Okay, pop that. Uh-oh. My pop dot, I gotta move it. I felt my pop dot was touching my card. Make sure you don't glue it to your card. This last piece, we're gonna put pop on the back of him also. And then we're gonna dig out this from your die cuts, little Christopher and Pooh. Every time I say Pooh, I'm like, ugh. We'll just overlap him there. Pop the flower on the corner. And then there's this red thing that was in there that had a sentiment on it that I thought was very precious. that, and I kind of put it in to cover up that other sentiment that was in there since my flower kind of covered it. And look at that, 1 minute. Whew, we are good. Are we good or what? Good or what, guys? All right, there we go. All right, so let me pull all of my versions in. So that's Crafty Hour 57, guys, with the Simple Stories Classic Pooh collection. I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for all of these crafty hours and crafting along with us and purchasing the kits from Scrapbook-N-Memories and Clipper Street. And we appreciate the love and support for these. So the next Crafty Hour 59, will go live tomorrow on our website at 11 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Pacific. And it is something to buzz about. I've already created the event, so you can click that you're attending, tune in live tomorrow. It will go live on our websites at that time. The best thing is to follow the links that we will give you and register at that time. And this one is going to be super affordable also. So, and it will have add-ons or coordinating things that match with it. So make sure to watch for those also. So thank you everybody so much. Cannot wait to see your guys' interpretations of these cards. Don't forget to post them in our private Facebook group. It's called Crafty Hour Creations. And then we can't wait to see what you guys do with all of your leftovers also. So thank you so much. Have a great night. And as always, happy crafting. Bye-bye.